Well, most of you know WBOC's Alice Bavis gave birth to this little bundle of joy in April. This is baby Abigail. Since then, Alice has been balancing the demands of being a new mom and, of course, getting back to work. But that's just one challenge. Most new parents say nothing's going to change when it comes to their furry babies, but when the new baby comes home, you know that just can't be the case. So how do you bring harmony between the two? Well, WBOC's Alice Bavis joins us today to tell us how she's been trying to do all of that. Wow.
Do we have enough time?
Yeah, right. Welcome to the juggling act.
Yeah,
so first, I got to ask you, how is baby Abigail?
She's doing well, 6 months old, and yeah, just starting to eat solid foods, and she's getting some teeth, so that has been challenging. Mommy's not sleeping as much as I used to
be. Yeah, that's kind of a given. Okay, so bringing home Abigail meant that your dog, Rusty, had to share mom and dad. How did that turn out?
We had big dreams for, bringing the dog home and introducing him to the baby, and I just thought everything would be wonderful and he would take to the baby right away. And he was never aggressive, so we were really fortunate in that regard, but he actually became very depressed. And here's actually the moment when we brought her home, and he first meets baby Abigail, and he's kind of like, I don't know what's in there. And you can see he's sort of more excited to see mom and dad than he is to spend time with the baby, and that's sort of how it was. All of a sudden he realized that he wasn't with me as much, and so he would sort of go into another room and sit there and be sort of depressed.
So his behavior did change.
Yes. Drastically.
Oh no. Okay, so what did you learn about how to help babies and dogs get along?
Well, I thought that when you would go to the hospital and you're supposed to bring something home that smelled like the baby and give it to the dog, and that's what I read. I did my research and I thought we'd be ready, and we did that, and he smelled it and he was like, oh, I smell 100 things during the day. Well, when I spoke with an expert about it, she said, yeah, dogs smell so many different scents during the day that smelling the baby that way really didn't do much. What you should do is sort of give the dog something to do while you are with the baby. So this is one thing we did, was we learned to give him puzzles. And you put the little treats in there, and that'll entertain him. So while I'm with the baby, say breastfeeding or taking care of her in any way, he can do this. And that sort of entertains him, and so he equates mommy's with the baby, I get to do something else. We learned Rusty was very motivated by food.
Imagine that.
So am I, so I don't know why that wouldn't work out.
So tonight we're going to see how Rusty and Abigail have adapted to each other.
And how we learned to help them to adapt. At first he made himself actually kind of sick because he got so depressed, and when he was around me. Now my husband would come home and all of a sudden he'd perk up, his tail would start wagging again. So we've worked on trying to, entertain both him and the baby at once. And it really wasn't easy. Now, like I said, I was very lucky that we didn't have an aggressive dog. And I do mention in this story that if you have a dog that is a little bit more aggressive, there are some other steps that you can take. And, I could talk about that for another 10 minutes, but it's scary if you have a dog that may be violent towards a baby, and we were fortunate that that never happened between the two, but he did get very sad that he wasn't with mommy as much.
Has to share All right, well, Abigail's beautiful. Thank you, Alice, and of course we look forward to seeing your story, Bringing Baby Home, tonight on WBOC News at 10 on Fox 21. Up next on Delmarva Life, it's time for the final clue in our Where is Brian guessing game this afternoon. Brian, let's have it.
Well, Lisa, here is your second and final clue, so pay close attention. Here we go. Clue number 2. This town is 1.25 square miles in size. I'll reveal where I am when we come back. Stay with us.